Welcome to Pro Se Lawsuit Center. I'm Coach Neighbor. Today we're putting together this little workshop video. A video for the workshop. Failure to state a claim is a bar member trap. Failure to state a claim is a bar member trap. So welcome to our workshop tonight, and we're going to be talking about that. And tonight we're going to learn about one of the most misused defenses in civil litigation, and we're going to learn how to stop one of the most used bar members' tricks to dismiss your case. We're going to, my grandma said, two birds in the hand is worth one in the bush. Two birds in the bush, two hands in a bird bush. Okay, we'll work on that later. Okay, so remember, tonight you're going to learn how to stop one of the most used bar member tricks to dismiss your case. The Rule 12B failure to state a claim workshop. That's what we got going on tonight. Now, you think they defended the case? They didn't. They used a phrase with no facts behind it. This workshop training is going to show you how to identify it and respond to the Rule 12B dismissal. That's what we learned. That's what's going down tonight. I'm working, Lily. You can come in. And get up here if you want to. We getting a little rowdy sometimes. She's still kind of good. Okay. Good. Okay. I'm working now. I'm dressed up, so don't worry about no rowdy, nobody up in here getting jacked up, because we ain't have no problem when we looking good. Okay? All right. You sit down over there and let me do my work over here, so I don't have to, get rowdy with you. Sit down over there and chill. Thank you. No phrase, no facts, no facts behind it. This workshop training shows you how to identify that and respond to the Rule 12B dismissal. And we're also going to provide you the structure that we use to build the document and a copy of the document. And if I remember, I said that we'd be offering, the credit card package to the first 5 people. And then if anybody else is interested in that wasn't in the first 5, then you would have to just hit me up, but I'll send you the Cash App link and let me know what you need, and I'll email it over to you. Civil litigation is built on precise procedural rules. When those rules are misunderstood or misused, it creates confusion for litigants, and the court exploits that confusion in the interest of assisting fellow bar members crush you in their administrative process. Chat wanted to clean that up. No, we keeping it real. Real 100, 24/7, 24/79. Okay, we ain't trying to roll like everybody else, all right? Failure to state a claim is not an affirmative defense. Tonight, we're going to learn how to make the document you need to stop that fraudulent attempt to avoid your civil liability. A true affirmative defense must introduce new factual matter that defeats a claim, even if the allegations in the complaint are assumed to be true. Tonight, we're going to learn how to make that document you need to stop this attempt of them throwing, they start making you jump through hoops and then hoop your ass right out the back door. Not anymore. Nope, we ain't going out the back door. We don't like the back door. What we're going to be studying tonight is a specific legal point that gets twisted up a lot. And, y'all know I play football, I box, and I did all this crazy stuff. I mean, those are things not smart people do. So I like to keep this shit simple, so I can understand it without a bunch of questions. I shouldn't need questions. I went to school for a few days. Stay with me. Failure to state a claim is not a proper affirmative defense. Here's why. It's not actually a defense. An affirmative defense is supposed to introduce new facts that defeat the claim, even if the claim is true. Like, let's say. Now, I'm going to say these here, but y'all know if you're in my program, there's a few of these that ain't going to work. That ain't going to help them. Okay? But for the sake of this conversation, Coach, we're just going to keep it simple. Okay, so a few examples that they come up with are statute of limitations. Well, we roll with fraudulent concealment, bam. So we ain't worried about statute of limitations. Arrest judicata. Well, they want to say, and then estoppel. They want to say that they can't. You can't go after them for the same thing, whatever. Well, wait a minute. Fraudulent concealment, bam, bam, crushes both of those. Oh, it's getting a little hot in here, but not for me. So the first one is statute of limitations that is a real affirmative defense. It ain't here because when you roll with fraudulent concealment, that's done. There ain't no limitations. The limitation is told. Then, you got arrest judicata waiver. Well, you can't waive constitutional rights anyway, so we ain't even going to spend an estoppel. Both of those are in. So, the only one we got left, okay, in my head for affirmative defense of anything you get from winningcourtnow.com, I'm saying only two, and that's payment and release. No, I'm talking about them paying us and releasing us. Well, okay, they got it twisted. So why the hell can't I twist them? Twist them. Okay, sorry, I got a little twisted. I don't. I get that way when I'm reading their stuff, but we gotta have it because when y'all go and research, y'all pull up this same stupid shit. Well, all of mine ain't stupid because I got two in here. Okay, so actually, there's only one. Okay, the payment, okay, that ain't no affirmative defense because the payment was generated with your own damn signature when you signed the stinking thing that remember how that worked? You sat down, you signed that thing, and then you was the only one that signed it. The bank didn't sign. Nobody from the bank signed. Oh, wait, they did sign it later after you left the table. They stamped paid to the order of honor and turned it into some funky thing. Okay, sorry. A security. I know the words. Okay, that's what they turned it into. And the processor to the Federal Reserve for Electronic Credit. Now, Modern Money Mechanics is a publication put out by some dudes. I'm gonna call them white dudes. No offense to anybody. that ain't white. I mean that. Okay, sorry. Okay, but I mean, if you read the book, okay, man, is okay. But anyway, so I'm just gonna have to say that the payment ain't working for me either. That's not an affirmative defense because they can't prove there was a loan given to you. They can't prove that lad's mortgage loan wasn't generated with your signature. They can't prove that it wasn't. They can't prove. And you know what else? They can't prove that they did not commit real estate deed fraud when they registered your shit in their office. Their law says they're supposed to deliver that shit to your house, and it's not conveyed, yada, yada, yada. But they did their constructive delivery, and then they registered. They registered your property. I used to think they registered for the sole purpose of just to start the property tax. I have videos where I actually said that. And then I got to looking more inside. And, well, then it found out that, no, it wasn't registered for the sole purpose of the property tax. Your deed was registered in their office to allow the first illegal lien to be put on your property. That's how I got it. That's how I got it in my head. Now, work with me here. I know y'all think I'm crazy. People told me I'm crazy. They sent me back for crazy, man. In case I'm crazy because I'm crazy as right, I'm gonna. Okay, but here you go. Think of it this way. If there were several people who own property, all of those people have to be present to sign that, right? And there was nobody there except you. So, the fact they accepted your signature, the alleged lender, there wasn't no lender, Okay, it was just a bunch of bar members, and RICO co-conspired. Okay, so no, there was no lender. They told you it was going to be a lender. You sat down and signed, and then the fact they accepted your signature on the lien, and there was nobody else to sign. Keep that in mind. Proves that you own the property already, and I smell stink. Nah. And then they did their constructive delivery, where they registered in their office. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's constructive mean? That means that they're not going to talk about nothing about your property before it was registered. All of that shit is shung the hell up. Ain't nobody trying to talk about that. Well, come on. Okay, all right. Before your property was registered and reclassified as agricultural, residential, or commercial, and residential is actually a government official property. You're going to look that shit up, but you ain't going to find it on the first page. Okay, before it was your private property. It was your private property before that. But the problem is, one, the Constitution says that, and not once, but in two different places, that private property is not to be taxed. Okay, so, but that's not the reason why they registered. Once they registered, they allowed them to put the fake mortgage lien on your shit. Now, I know, I'm talking crazy. Okay, but if you stop, move all the bullshit aside, then they accepted your signature on there. All of our debts are supposed to be paid back when it took gold and silver or whatever. And that's like 200 more videos of some complicated shit that nobody knows. I don't like to do that complicated shit. If they accepted your signature on the damn lien, then you own the property or something. And then they process it through the Federal Reserve for electronic credit. Now, Modern Money Mechanics said they got 9 times the amount. Now, Dr. Arthur is a friend of mine who buys these things, these notes and things before they get to that whatever, says they get 22 times. I can't do the math on all that. And then they take it back and then they sell it again, and then I'm getting dizzy. So the only one of these that could be affirmative defense in my head is a release. The property already. Okay, sorry. I'm still on the wrong side. On the wrong side of the fence. No, the release adds new information, and none of the others. They just kind of jacked up my presentation here. I gotta check myself down. But that's all right, because we keeping it real. We keeping it real, and I don't have a problem being wrong. I don't. I do not have a problem being wrong. Because if I am, I'm about to learn some shit. So a failure to state a claim does not add any fact. It just argues the complaint is legally insufficient. Because of that, I'm going to say it's not. I'm supposed to, no, it ain't. It's not. It's a motion, not a defense. The proper place to raise it through a motion to dismiss under Rule 12b-6. That's how that's supposed to work. But not as a one line inside the answer to get your shit thrown out. If the defendant has already filed an answer, the proper vehicle becomes a Rule 12c motion for judgment on the pleading. Courts frequently strike Rule 12b as an answer because it is a legal conclusion. It is redundant, and it's not a true affirmative defense. It doesn't add any facts to the table that trump everything. Courts often say something like the failure to state a claim is not a proper affirmative defense because it merely asserts a defect in the plaintiff's prima facie case. Lawyers include it out of habit to preserve the issue. They actually include it out of habit to throw your shit out if you bring it. Because they ain't got time to deal with you. They got so many people over here scared and kissing their butt and not standing up. They ain't got time to deal with those guys. And all the bar members are bored on it. If they can do that, get it thrown out real quick, hop on down the street. They're not used to people doing the homework, and they're not used to people having the resources they have now today. They're not used to having crazy ass people that make it their life mission. And then there's the other people that don't make it their life mission. They do it because it's their therapy. It's state therapy. Helps them get it done 24/7. It helps them remember what you get cuando tienen miedo cada esto. Un crajete, but not para critico. It's not for credit. Actually, it is, but it's not for you. They get the money. Okay, sorry. We're gonna make another video. Yeah, but technically speaking, many courts recognize it as improper boilerplate. That's what they say when you're researching this. Many courts throw your shit out when you do that if you don't understand what the hell is going on. If you don't understand, the key thing is that failure to state a claim attacks the plaintiff's pleading not through new facts. When someone uses failure to state a claim as a defense, but in our non-conventional program, no, only one of those is the last one. None of those are going to help them get by the fire that you're going to be bringing to the table when you get done hanging out at winningcourtnow.com. Now, failure to state a claim does not add any facts. It only argues that the plaintiff has not proven their case. Because of that, courts may say it's not actually a affirmative defense at all. And courts often use this defense. This is brought through motion. Because those procedures already exist, adding it as an affirmative defense does nothing new. It is a legal conclusion, not a factual defense. When lawyers write it in as their answer, the plaintiffs fail to state a claim. That statement contains no facts. Consider it to be legal conclusion. It does not provide notice. Affirmative defenses are supposed to give notice of what the defendant will rely on. The bare statement like failure to state a claim tells the plaintiff nothing about the actual issue. Because of that, we need to strike it in the court that we're in. When presented as a standalone defense without factual support, it frequently fails to satisfy the requirements imposed on affirmative defenses and may therefore be considered redundant, conclusory, or illegally sufficient. Now, I want to share with you guys the document that we made. Now, if you guys are interested in this document, give me a call. There's two set of documents. One is we're asking them for a more defined statement, and then we're jamming them up with the thing. Now, I'm going to share with you guys here what the document looked like when we got done. And you can see right there the plaintiff's opposition to the defendant's Rule 12B motion to dismiss. This motion relies heavily on the plaintiff's failure to state a claim and relief was granted. Yet the phrase does not constitute a factual defense, nor does it introduce any new facts. So you can see this is, it's nice and short. And very to the point. Right to the point. And for those reasons, the motion to dismiss should be denied. And certificate of service. Now, we came in with a demand for a more definitive statement pursuant to Rule 12E, just to make sure we understand what they're talking about. And this just chops up their crap a little more. And it outlines right there along the specific allegations that their demand for relief, and then we got to move that down to its own page. So that's what that looked like real quick. So this is coming up pretty soon. So we're going to get on out of here and get some more things done. I'll see you guys in the live stream in a little while. Thank you for the value of sharing your time. I'll be back.